It's Monday in Tryon, North Carolina, and anybody that's been watching the news for the last 2 days has to have heart-wrenched feelings that would show compassion and love and concern for the people that were injured and those that were killed, regardless of whether or not you approve of the lifestyle of those that were in the nightclub or not. The issue was not the people. The issue was not guns. The issue really isn't even terrorism per se. Oh, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about a basic principle that's taught in the Bible, one that seems to have been forgotten for thousands of years, one that is what really is the cause of all of this. There were war crimes in China. 60 million people were killed because they weren't like the other Chinese. Stalin murdered 40 million people. Hitler murdered 20 million people. In Colombia, there was a mass murderer who killed over the time of serial killings back in the 1990s, 138 people. Brazil, 110 people by one person, serial killer. India, 72, Afghanistan, and on it goes. Abortion, it's murder. Whether you decide that a baby is a baby from conception or whether you decide is it 13 weeks or 6 months or whatever you say, it's still murder. It's a living being inside of a mother. What is the problem? Why do we have all of these murders? Why do we have all of these killings? What is the basic root problem? Well, it's spoken of very clearly in the Bible. Jesus preached about it in Matthew 15, verse 19. For out of the heart comes evil thoughts, murderers, adulterers, fornication, thefts, false witness, and slanders. It's out of the heart of man. It's evil. It has nothing to do with guns. The weapons could have been poisonous gas. The weapons could have been bombs. The weapons could have been airplanes as they flew into the Twin Towers and killed 2,000 people, over 2,000 people, 2,753 to be exact. And then the aftermath deaths because of the Twin Towers, with the fumes and the asbestos and everything else that was involved. Another 2,620 deaths have occurred since the initial attack on the Twin Towers. Now, the problem is not the weapon. It wasn't an airplane. It's not the guns. It's not poisonous gas. It's not machetes used in South Africa as people are murdered. It's the evilness of the heart. That's what it's all about. The Bible clearly taught that. As a matter of fact, the cause of the great flood in Noah's day was because the hearts of men were continuously on evil. We need to remember that God has taught from the beginning of time in Exodus 20, verse 13, thou shalt not murder. He didn't say thou shalt not murder bad people. He didn't say thou shalt not murder good people. He didn't say thou shalt not murder people that are different than you. He said thou shalt not murder. That covers all people. Oh, I don't agree with homosexuality, but I would never wish murder upon them. And I would hope that the gay and lesbian and transgender people would know that a true Christian does not believe in murder. They do not believe in that as an answer. They believe that the answer is in the Bible. The Bible teaches love, and thou shalt not murder. The Bible teaches that we need to go ahead and follow God's plan for our lives, which is not to murder, not to hate, but to have compassion and concern for everyone. My guess is if you were to look at the lines of people that were giving blood in Orlando this week, there were people who absolutely did not agree with the lifestyle of those that were in the nightclub, but they realized that was not the issue. The issue was innocent people were killed, were murdered. Out of the heart comes evil. All of the atrocities, the war crimes, those that flew planes into buildings, those that have been serial killers, comes out of the heart of man. They'll always find a weapon. It doesn't matter whether it's poisonous gas, poison, or whether it's guns. The problem is the heart problem. And until we start winning the hearts of people over to love and following God's rules and regulations, we'll probably continue to see the evilness of man's heart demonstrated through these atrocities. No difference between the killings in Charleston and the killings in Orlando. It was out of the evil hearts of those that committed the murders. Now, it's very, very important for us to remember that Christians are to love one another. They're to love others as they love themselves. They're to have compassion and concern. They're to weep with those that are weeping today, just as much as they would with people that were in a Bible study in Charleston. And each of us need to remember the words of God, thou shalt not murder, for that is a wrong, wrong action. It's your thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.